Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making bread, so let's get into it. Okay, I have 1 2/3 cups of lukewarm water, and you're going to pour about half of that into the bowl. I'm just eyeballing it, but if you'd like, you can measure it all out. And then we're going to take our yeast packet, which is about 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. You can use active yeast, dry yeast also, but this is what I had on hand. So you're going to pour that into the bowl. Make sure you get it all in there. Okay, and then you're going to take your sugar, and you're going to use one teaspoon of sugar. Just sprinkle that in there evenly. And that's what it's going to look like. And you're going to leave that to set for 10 minutes. Okay, you're going to start to see these bubbles forming, and that means that it's ready. Okay, now we're going to take the rest of our water and we're going to pour that into the bowl. And then we're going to add some honey. It calls for 1 tablespoon of honey, but I put a little extra. You could also put sugar instead of honey if you don't have honey. I just thought honey would be a little bit better. I didn't want to get off this spoon here, so I just poured some into the bowl. Okay, and then we're going to take our salt, and that's about a teaspoon of salt, and you're just going to pour that into the bowl also. And next you're going to add, it's supposed to be cubed butter that is at room temperature, but I went ahead and melted mine since I am going to be hand mixing this dough. And this is about 1 1/2 tablespoons of butter. And now we're going to add our flour, and you're going to need 4 cups of flour to start off with. So I quickly realized that, oh, I'm not going to be able to get my cup into my flour jar. So I got a 1/2 cup and dipped that one in there and just filled up my cups. So I just put in 4 cups. I kind of eyeball it, really. Honestly, you may or may not end up using more flour for this recipe, just because it just depends on the temperature of your house and how sticky your dough is. Mine actually ended up being a lot stickier than I expected, so therefore I had to add more flour. Okay, I'm just popping over here to get me a fork so that I can mix my dough, because like I said, I am mixing this by hand, so I don't like to stick my hand in it in the very beginning because it is very sticky. So usually what I like to do is get a fork and then stir it all up. And then you're just going to continue to do this until you form your ball of dough, adding if you need flour. If not, what you're wanting the consistency is more like a Play-Doh. You don't want the dough to be very, very sticky. If it is too sticky, it is not going to form into the dough ball that you want correctly. So just whip it and whip it and whip it, and until it is at a Play-Doh consistency. Again, adding more flour if needed. Also, you want it to pull away from the bowl. So all of the flour usually pulls away from the bowl, and then you will see it form into a ball. And this is usually what you end up with. And if you press it in the middle, that's what I'm doing, it'll usually pop back out at you. That's also a sign that it is good to go, that the gluten and everything has been mixed correctly. Then you just put it back in your bowl and you set it aside. Now you have a clean bowl and you're going to grease it down. I choose to use butter because I use butter for everything, so I'm from the South, what can I say? So just completely grease your bowl, and then you're going to take your dough and you're going to place it back into this clean greased bowl. Okay, and then you're going to head over to the oven so that you can start proofing your dough. Now I don't have a proofing setting on my stove because it's a very old-timey stove. So that's what I'm doing right here by boiling this water. And I'm going to put it into this pan, and then that pan is going to go into the oven. Now proofing is just the point in which your dough begins to rise and double in size. So I'm just pouring my water in, and then it's going into our oven. Now you're going to turn your oven on to 400 degrees for 1 minute. You're going to let it heat up for just 1 minute. Don't leave it more than 1 minute. You just want it to get a little warm in there. And then we're waiting, and my apron needs to be sewn. I need to get on that. Oh, poor apron. 1 minute later, and we are going to put our dough into the oven now. Like I said, make sure your oven is off. You don't want to cook your dough. And then we wait. 45 minutes later, we're going to get our work area ready so that we can roll out our dough. And here is our dough, and as you can see, it has doubled in size. And we are gonna push that dough down. This is my favorite part. You get to push the dough down. Okay, and then you're just gonna get it out of the bowl, and you're gonna cut that in half. I'm gonna karate chop mine because I'm a ninja. And you just pull that apart and put your other half aside. This does make 2 loaves. And then you're just going to press out your dough, an 8x12 rectangle, and you're just going to, from the smaller side, you are just going to start rolling it into a roll. And what you want is for the crease to be underneath your dough. And then you'll see here you have 2 little rolled sides, and you're going to want to tuck those sides in so that when you make your bread, you have these pretty little butts, because you know everybody likes the butt toast, as my kids call it. No one likes the butt toast. Okay, and then you're going to take a greased pan, an 8x4 loaf pan, and mine's already greased. All I did was take butter and wipe it all around my pan. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. Back into the oven it goes for 45 minutes to proof again. So you want it to double in size again. And here we go. Here's what it looks like. You are going to put it back into the oven to bake at 390 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. Here you go. Beautiful. And they should just pop right out if you greased your pan like I did. And you're going to put them onto a cooling rack and let them set for a second, and then you are going to take your butter, you know, because we have to have butter, and you are going to glaze the top of these with butter. Just lather that bad boy on there. Isn't that beautiful? Look how it just drips. So gorgeous. And then you're going to let cool and let them completely cool before you slice them. And here is your finished product. Look at those golden babies of beauty. Alright y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. God bless y'all.